All right, everybody. This is Saturday, December 7th, 3 o'clock in the afternoon, and I'm back down in my shop, and I'm going to be focusing on the Seaview today. Going to be a little bit more cleanup around in here on the sub. I'll double check the other side. I'll look up on top. I did re-primer the conning tower, so it's should be ready to go for some paint. But I want to double check it all. Keep my fingers crossed that maybe I can get this painted today. If not, it's my weekend off. I can focus on doing it tomorrow because I do have to mask the bottom off, go all the way around the sub, and mask that off to get it ready for the paint on top. And the paint for the top of the sub is your light ghost gray. Right here that I got from Mission Models. I got 2 bottles. It should be enough. I do have 2 bottles of thinner, so I could thin this out. I think it says on the label here, back here, that you don't need to thin it out. I can experiment when I start painting it to try it on the conning tower and see how it comes out of the airbrush. I think here on the label it might say like 20 psi. I'm not sure. I'll have to look at this closely and see what it says on here. Camera's on my video camera here is probably picking that up, but I can't see that fine print. But that's what I got focused on today, is just to put that on my workbench, double check it. I got to clean it up in here a little bit. I think the other side's good shape, ready to go. But it's a little scuffy, right, like where my finger is. I'm going to have to clean that up a little bit. I did work on the top of it too, and it's looking pretty decent. So I'll go ahead, pause for now, get this on my bench, and I'll talk with everybody later. Alright, everybody, got the Seaview in the spray booth. Cleaned it up the best I could. I tried to mask off the bottom of the sub. It seems a little bit tricky, so I'm just keep my fingers crossed. I'm just doing the top of the sub. The bottom should be fine, and if the top turns out okay, then I could probably mask that off tomorrow. I already got the Mission Models. Paint in the airbrush, and I got it set at 20 psi. I'm going to try to hopefully get this all in frame for you guys. If not, I'll do a partial filming of this on my camera here. Hopefully I'm not going to be in the way doing this. That's what I'm trying to spit out. So I'm going to go ahead and get started here. Hopefully some of you guys can see me painting this. If it seems that I'm in the way, I'll do what I can, and then I'll finish up off camera. So let's get started. Hopefully that's all in frame and I'm not that much in the way. I'll do a little bit more, but it's a lot of surface to cover. Let's see how long I've been into this already. Almost 8 minutes. I'll go a little bit longer with this, and then I'll probably have to do this all off camera, but I wanted to show everybody it's a lot of a it's gonna take a lot to cover that sub. It's a big sub, so I'll stop rambling off and continue airbrushing it, and then I'll finish it off camera. Alright guys, I'll go ahead and pause and finish this up, and I'll talk with everybody later. Alright guys, another update on the sub. I just applied a couple more coats of the Light Goes Gray from Moebius Models. Still have paint left in this first bottle. I'm impressed, even though I had to thin it out with their thinner. And I still have another whole bottle left, but I don't think I'll need it. I'll double check. I'm off tomorrow. I'm trying to think of the date. I think tomorrow's the 16th of December, so I'll have Monday off. I'm going to probably touch it up a little bit more with the Light Goes Gray, and then I'll let it set, and then maybe Tuesday or Wednesday I'll hit it with a clear coat. And then I'll be able to flip it over, probably my weekend coming up off, to do the camouflage gray on the bottom. But I'll let everybody take a look. It's looking really good. The front turned out pretty decent. You can see here. She's looking good. Getting there. Couple more steps. I figured I'd give everybody a quick update on the Seaview. Hopefully, keep my fingers crossed, it should be done by this weekend coming up. So I'll go ahead and pause, and I'll talk with everybody later. Okay everybody, another update on the Seaview. This is Friday, December 20th. I work tonight, then I'm off the weekend. I was off Monday. I think the date was December 16th. I applied several coats of flat clear to the top of the sub, and it's been sitting since Monday. My goal this weekend is to mask off the top of the sub, flip her over, and hit the bottom with some camouflage gray. That's my goal. I should be done with that this weekend. The only other steps I have to do with the sub is the flooding vents right here, and in the rear are flat black, and the portholes are flat black. I'll have to I got a steady hand, but I don't think I'm going to be that steady, and I don't want to be sloppy and make a mess, but I'll have to probably mask off each one and then paint it by hand, and then I'll debate whether I'm going to go over it with a final clear coat, because those vents, I'm not going to really worry about it. The sub turned out really nice with the flat clear. The Tamiya right here is what I used, and it's their flat clear, and it's the TS80, and I got several more cans in stock. I got probably enough in here to probably do the bottom. but I still have to get the scopes and the radar. I'll have to primer them up and paint those with the light ghost gray. That's going to be an easy step to do, but she turned out really nice after all the hard work. This sub took me forever to finish up, but my goal this weekend is definitely masking off the top of the sub, flip her over, and do the camouflage gray. Here's the device I use to mount my camera on. I would like to try to film doing the bottom part of the sub. We'll see. I can't guarantee it, but I'll try to set that up and film that part for the final step, the painting on the sub. But overall, it turned out great. It looks really awesome. The only tedious part last is the flooding vents. I'll have to take my time to do that. And like I said, I don't know if I'm going to do a final clear coat over that. Once that's all done, that'll be the only thing that's going to hold me up in doing that. But if I can get it painted, the bottom tomorrow, paint it, and then Sunday hit it with a clear coat, then the sub itself is finished. But I figured I'd give everybody another update on the Seaview. It's looking awesome, almost done, getting there, and I'll show the final results with the bottom with the camouflage gray. I'll try to do everything I can tomorrow, set the camera up for that part, and after I mask off the top of the sub, that's going to take a little time, but I'll go ahead and pause for now, and I'll talk with everybody later. Alright everybody, another quick update on the Seaview. Last part of this video I was calling my spray booth the display case, so I stand corrected. I hurry of getting this sub done and putting it in its display case, but off camera I hit it with another couple coats of flat clear, and I'm done with it. All I have to do now is there's a few parts on the rear that go on the propulsion tubes. I'm going to have to paint those and hit a clear coat on those, and then they'll simply apply on the rear of the sub. I'll probably glue them in place. Then I have to unmask everything. I got to get the front here, and I noticed, if I can point it out, there's a little bit of the camouflage gray up here on top. I'll have to check the front real good, but that's a simple touch up on that. But this weekend I have to work. This is Friday. Let's see. I think the date's the 27th. If I'm correct with the date. And I got to work tonight and the weekend, and I'm off Monday, which is probably the 30th. But I'll be working on this and get it done hopefully by Monday. So that's my quick update. I still have to get the periscopes and all that, the antenna and everything that goes up on top of the conning tower. I gotta primer that and paint it, but that's gonna be real easy to do that. That's all that I need to apply on top of the conning tower. And then the parts that go in the rear. So I'm gonna go ahead and pause for now on the Seaview, and I'll talk with everybody later. Okay everybody, this is December 31st, last day of 2019. It's about 20 after 11 in the morning. This is the final update on the 1/28 scale Seaview from Moebius, 39 inches long. I do have it on my workbench. The only next step I have to do is to mount the sub to wire up the end of the connections to the rear of the sub to the base that I keep saying base, the stand that I made, and I'll do that later. I wanted to show everybody, at least down in the basement, it's not so bright with all the lights off. You can see I have it at almost 12 volts. You can see the rear tail fin lights are working just fine. Look pretty cool. The front here, where the conning tower is, you can see the light right there. That's working fine. And then the lights on each side of the conning tower, that's red, and the other side is green. I like how it reflects on the sub right there. That looks pretty cool. I know this sub's taking me forever to complete. Here's the front of the sub. You can see the searchlight there. It's going to bleed out on the camera, of course. You can see the inside of the control room. Everything's working just fine. Looks pretty cool. Zoom in over here on this side here. Underneath, the floodlights look pretty cool. Kind of hard to... There's a good shot of it. You see the three red lights I got in the flying sub bay, and then you can see the two floodlights. That's a good shot right there. And I get another look at the inside of the control room. I know that light's really bleeding out on the camera here. Everything's working fine. I'm so glad I'm done with this ship, or sub, not ship. But I can get a closer look. Really looks cool. Back it off a little bit. But I'll try to post this on my YouTube channel today. If not, maybe by this weekend on the Seaview. Then I'm working slowly on the deep sea lab, which I'll have that lit up as well. You can see the tail fins in the back are lit up pretty nice. But see if I can get a side view of the sub, and you can see the lighting from the floodlights hitting my workbench. But she turned out pretty good. It just took me forever to get this sub done. I was having problems with the seam work on the sub where the two parts join together, and I was almost ready to call it quits and get back to it some other day down the road. But patience and just working on it until I was happy with the results, and it turned out pretty decent. We're going to turn the overhead light on, and then everybody can get a little bit better of a look of the sub, because the lights will still show on the sub. Maybe it won't be such of a blare on the front of it. Not too bad. Another look at the control room. Looks pretty cool. Then underneath. So I'm going to call this a wrap for the Moebius 128 scale Seaview, 39 inches long, one complete. I'd like to thank all my YouTube subscribers. I'd like to thank everybody for watching. I'll show the final once it's all hooked up to the stands that I made, and probably when I have it in my display case. Everybody have a safe and happy new year, and I'll talk with everybody later.